Tonight, we are just hours away from former President Donald Trump's first court appearance on his federal indictment for efforts to overturn the 2020 election. A federal grand jury indicted Trump yesterday. He faces 4 counts, including conspiracy to defraud the U.S. government and witness tampering. Special counsel Jack Smith said Trump's lies about his election loss led to the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. The former president will appear in federal court tomorrow afternoon. We'll have you covered on developments in court. Authorities are expecting crowds outside the federal courthouse in Washington tomorrow. That's why federal and local law enforcement are working together to turn the building into a fortress. So far, sources tell CNN there's nothing to indicate there's any active threat. The Wisconsin fake elector plan is at the center of the new indictment against the former president. The Republican electors signed documents claiming Trump won Wisconsin when he didn't, and they submitted the paperwork to Congress and Wisconsin's Secretary of State. Those 10 Republicans included the state party chairman at the time, Andrew Hitt, and Bob Spindell, a current member of the Wisconsin Elections Commission. Hitt testified before the January 6th committee.
I was told that these would only count if a court ruled in our favor. So that would have been using our electors, it would have been using our electors in ways that we weren't told about.
Federal prosecutors say the scheme was orchestrated from the highest levels of the Trump campaign. In the indictment, the prosecutors say some fraudulent electors were tricked into participating based on the understanding that their votes would be used only if the defendant succeeded in outcome determinative lawsuits within their state, which the defendant never did. Dane County Clerk Scott McDonald has been vocal about next steps he thinks Wisconsin officials should take. Tonight at 10, Grace Ulch has you covered on the concerns he thinks this could potentially bring to future elections. Grace?
Amber, Scott McDonald is urging Wisconsin General Attorney Josh Kaul on Twitter and on 27's own Capital City Sunday to follow Michigan's lead in filing charges against fake electors involved and hopes that this will prevent anything like this from happening in Wisconsin again. McDonald says he hopes to see charges filed against the 10 people who are allegedly this state's fake electors for former President Donald Trump, because he says these are the kinds of things that cause mistrust in the election process and mistrust in election officials. McDonald says what the state needs now is more transparency from the alleged fake electors involved to prevent this practice from becoming a normalized political tactic.
And it's going to be considered, oh, it's just a tactic. That this can't be a tactic for anybody. And, part of what I try to tell everyone is you think, it's one side now, it'll be the other side next time. No one should be doing this.
I heard from the spokesperson of one of these alleged fake electors, Andrew Hitt, the former chairman of the Republican Party of Wisconsin. They say Hitt was told nothing would be done with his elector documents unless former President Trump were to bring the matter to court. They also say Hitt was unaware any of his elector documents would be sent to the Senate and National Archives. Throughout my conversation with McDonald today, the point he kept emphasizing was that legal action should be taken against all alleged fake electors. In just a year and some change, we'll be entering the presidential election cycle once again, and he says it's important for all Wisconsin voters to have trust in the voting system and their election officials.